This is awesome.
When I heard Bischoff and Russo were back in the saddle here at WCW.
This is awful.
These videos are satiric reviews. You don't have to agree, but don't bitch about it. I hate this channel.
Hey there, I'm Social Injustice Warrior V Infuso, and you know who one of the most underrated big men in the sports entertainment of professional wrestling was? Mike Awesome. The guy looked powerful. He could work in the ring, and somehow he even made his mullet look intimidating. That's how big this guy was. I mean, take a look at this Joe Dirt looking motherfucker. I wouldn't say it to his face. I get powerbombed. The man was a force to behold in ECW, and found success in his on-again, off-again feud with Masato Tanaka. I know, I could pronounce that correctly, but somehow I mess up Wendy Richter, right? It's crazy. Watch me not have pronounced that correctly, and then I look twice as dumb. Awesome even went on to become ECW World Champion, defeating and exiting Taz and his longtime rival Tanaka in a three-way. Not sexually.
Frog splash! Ducks! Up again! Taz just snatched the World Heavyweight title belt.
And after winning the company's top tier, the unthinkable happened. In April of 2000, Mike Awesome, ECW's top champion, shocked the world without falling through a badly put together wall by debuting on WCW Nitro. Here was the competition's major investment, their at the time top guy appearing on WCW. This was a huge moment. Here was the big man on campus of ECW coming to a rival brand, all the while still ECW champion, coming to WCW and going after the big man in charge there, Kevin Nash.
If you're gonna come down here, bring your
I guess. Holy, that is Mike Awesome.
He's the heavyweight champion of ECW.
This was great. This was, and pardon the pun here, this was awesome. This
I knew this was just too sweet of an opportunity to pass up.
is ruined. Yes. For as good as Mike was in the ring, he was equally awful on the mic. A combination of that voice and what he said with it just left a lot to be desired, to say the very least. Listen to how he butchers the very words he was given to say.
Too sweet. It's not too sweet. It's too sweet.
Allegedly, Mike left ECW due to Paul Lee not paying him when he said he would, which is a reoccurring complaint with ECW talent, you might notice that. So it's not hard to see why he'd come over to the bigger brand, being offered a shit ton of money when he wasn't making any. Yeah, it's kind of no-brainer. It makes sense. Makes sense. It's just a shame that ECW faithful saw him as a traitor, when meanwhile the guy was just trying to survive. Awesome was referenced as ECW champion, but never brought the belt with him over concerns of being sued. Which they very well should have, because A, that's pretty good grounds to get sued, and B, I'm pretty sure I remember hearing that Paul Heyman's father was a lawyer. A deal was struck between ECW, WCW, and most surprising, WWE, as Mike Awesome, accompanied by WCW security, was booked to put his title on the line at an ECW event against a WWF wrestler, that being Taz, with two Z's. It was a match which he lost, but I'd like to reiterate that a WCW wrestler fought a WWF wrestler for the ECW World title. What a time to be alive. Now no longer tied to ECW, Awesome began working for Nitro full-time.
Awesome!
right, we're back and we're looking at, oh no, the backstage area. Mike Awesome is on a rampage again. The career killer. What is it?
Continuing in what should have been a white-hot feud with Kevin Nash that wound up being lukewarm at best, and would eventually lead to him aiding the New Blood, most notably Billy Kidman, in their matches. This was far from what would expect from such a big get. However, things were not nearly close to the worst that they would get for the former world champion, as he was saddled with a brand new gimmick. Previously known as Mike Awesome, the Career Killer, he'd now become known as Mike Awesome, Fat Chick Thriller. I kid you not, it literally said that on his nameplate when he entered the ring. The Fat Chick Thriller. His gimmick was that he was into big chicks. That was the gimmick. That's the gimmick. Great going, Vince. Add a way to get the guy over. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You're a smart guy. Bro, let me tell you, bro. It's gonna be huge, bro. Bro, it's gonna be huge. And I'm not talking about the gimmick. I'm talking about this woman. Now, I'm not gonna kink shame anyone. I've been with a big girl once or twice in my life. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But why? But why, is my question. What's even worse is that they'd hire bigger women to accompany him to the ring, or for him to just simply lust after. It was, it wasn't good for anyone, really. It wasn't good for Mike. It wasn't good for the women who were hired, who were constantly ridiculed on commentary for their weight. It wasn't good for WCW. Hell, it wasn't good for wrestling. It was an L all around. Everyone got an L.
More vocal
So if
fans.
you're pleasantly plump and large and in charge, the Fat Chick Thriller is here to give you a dose of the old vitamin P. You know who I am, and you know what I like.
This was a mistake, but hey, at least this mistake paid well. A lot of people comment on how stupid Mike Awesome was for jumping ship, but I think they fail to realize that wrestling is actually a business. The guys involved aren't involved so they can reenact great stories that the writing team or bookers have for them. They're involved in wrestling so they get paid. They're trying to make money, not memories. Sure, this gimmick was stupid beyond belief, but on some level, it's better that he had money in his pocket playing a fool than to be a fool in real life and not make a buck but continue to put his body on the line. Immediately after the Fat Chick Thriller gimmick, Creative decided that since that 70s show was popular at the time, Mike Awesome would become, I shit you not, that 70s guy. That's good, guys. That's good. I'm glad you have basic cable. Good for you. Why not just make the man Mike Awesome Warrior Princess? Or Mike Awesome Vampire Slayer? Those shows were running at the time, weren't they? Awesome would dress and attempt to act as if he was living in the 70s, hosting a lava lamp lounge show, which essentially was the highlight reel at the time. And come on, guys! Do you not remember the man's debut with your company? Don't give this guy a microphone! What the hell is wrong with you? They even gave the guy the Partridge Family bus to enter the ring in. His most notable moment with this gimmick and that bus had to be the time that he awesome bombed Shaggy 2 Dope of ICP on the top of that bus, causing him to fall to the concrete below. Great job, guys. Well done. I'm not being sarcastic this time. I really don't like ICP. Good job. Well done. Do it again. Eventually, this gimmick would end and he'd resume his career killer gimmick, joining Lance Storm in Team Canada. But the damage was already done. Mike Awesome's momentum was at a standstill, and his overall worth was entirely diminished. They ruined something truly awesome and made it truly awful. The company would close a few short months later, and he'd been bought out by the WWF, who didn't have anything for him. So endeth our story. And before I close things off, I want to mention that in 2005, Awesome did a shoot interview where he spoke in length about his WCW run and the beyond terrible gimmicks he was given, stating that he believes his relation to Hulk Hogan, or more accurately Hulk Hogan's nephew, is what damned him in the company's eyes, as all those gimmicks happened after Hogan's dismissal from the company. So this was a form of payback. Even though Mike Awesome was never that close to Hogan, he still had to pay the price, because he was perceived as being close to Hulk Hogan. Awesome jumping from ECW to WCW essentially made him go from the big fish in the little pond to a little fish in a giant ocean. He went from being the guy to being just any other guy. He was paid like a top guy, but he certainly wasn't treated like one. And it's a little bit of a shame, but good on the guy for making bank at the time. And sure, yeah, it's a shame. He should have got more. There should have been more for somebody of his talents. But hats off to the guy for, finally getting a paycheck. Do you see the kind of things that he put himself through? Just imagine doing all that on a weekly basis and not bringing home any money. Essentially, the guy got to do less for more. And really, I can't fault him on that. While wrestling fans may see it as a stupid decision, I think it was a brilliant one. He should have had better gimmicks, he should have had better matches, but the guy got paid. That's always going to be the most important thing.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You're watching the Social Injustice Warrior V Infuso's channel, dude. So if you like the words that came out of his mouth hole, and you too want to become a V-tard, don't forget to like and subscribe, and click that little bell icon to get updates and notifications. Ooh, tell him what up, Mach. Ooh, yeah. Follow the man on Twitter, yeah, because we all know it's not stalking if it's on the internet, yeah. Join the madness by joining the Discord, and if you have a moment of time and a free $1 to spare, head over to the SIJW's Patreon, dig it, where you can request videos, get exclusive videos, and early access to content, yeah. Or go down to PayPal, where you can buy the shirts, brother. But most importantly, just remember, if you're not tuning in, then you're missing out.